Hello, hello, my friends, and welcome to tonight's episode of the Astral Calling, where McKenna is regretting not making tea before stream.
I am. I have Arizona, which is
Get on my level.
it is what it is.
Is that
But
a normal size can of Arizona?
It sure is.
Oh,
This is
I've
a 12
weird.
ounce.
I've never seen.
Oh, that's unnatural.
I know it is
It
unnatural,
is
but I
unnatural.
can get them for like $7 for a 12 pack at my local grocery store, which is a good deal, and they fit
Yeah.
in my fridge better. So while it does take a little getting used to, they still have the little brass tops instead of the silver tops. Every once in a while, I'll get a pack that has the silver top instead of the gold top, and I'm like, now that is unnatural.
speaking of unnatural, hello, and welcome to tonight's episode of the Astral Calling here on twitch.tv/tabletop rolls. Tonight, our party does some things, but before we do that, a few announcements. Other shows on the channel. Tomorrow night, a very special episode of the Tabletop Bros. Will, Matt, Chad taking the lead, and I'm literally hitting play, and we're letting Chad talk about Metaphor Refantagio for 2
I'm gonna be
hours.
shilling so hard for this
Well,
game.
I'm also going to be asking a lot of questions because I have never played a Persona game or any game from that developer, so I only really know it through like the Hi I'm Daisy comics about Persona 4.
I also enjoy Persona, but I will be glad to explain the difference because it's been frustrating people just saying it's fantasy Persona, and it's like this makes me think you've played neither because there are quite big differences.
In the background of that stream, I'm going to be playing some 14, just so that there's some gameplay going on whilst that's happening.
And well, I wanted to say I didn't mean to be so harsh when I was almost shutting down the whole idea
Oh, you're
of
good.
playing Triple Triad. I don't think I can concentrate on two
You're
things.
fine. I have plans. I have a Moogle event to grind now, so I'm going to do
no.
that.
Grinding
get-
with Moogles.
Yes.
Inappropriate.
Let's not say
That's
that.
also.
I
brain went to putting them in a meat grinder.
I need to commit Moogle regicide
I'm also
tomorrow, so
Moogle King.
So I was closer.
to
is what I'm hearing.
appease orphans, I need to commit Moogle regicide. It's going to be a good time. Then on Sunday, Cozy Co-op. Well, originally it was going to just be me and Emily. I'm assuming we're going to keep that plan, Sarah. We don't
play it
know.
by ear.
I mean, since I'm homebound, if you would like me to join, I can.
I will never say no to hanging out with you, Sarah.
I have unfortunately no plans anymore.
We all make.
I has the sick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you know who else has the sick? Probably Corriday, in the Strength of Thousands adventure path on Monday night, run by Matt.
Something
Yes.
like that.
That was a swerve, but yes.
Listen, I did my best.
No, I love how optimistic you are that this week you're going to be getting to Corriday.
I am ever the optimist.
You'll have to fight their 3 lieutenants. No.
Oh,
maybe
do we have
not.
to beat Corriday's 7 evil X's?
You know, the 3 heavenly guardians or something. I don't know. It's whatever the bullshit kind of thing you come up with anyway. But there is more stuff. There's more of your fellow students in the mix, I'm afraid to say. Some of which
Anchorroot.
may...
Anchorroot has been turned into a tree.
That's very specific.
Oh, because their name's Anchorroot. Anyway, then Tuesday, Sprout stream, Final Fantasy 14. Possibly with Matt, possibly with Data. That one's kind of drop in and drop out for them. So it's whoever we have each week who wants to play will play. Otherwise, I'm going to keep playing 14. Because there's a lot of achievements to get in that game. A lot.
Will, you got a sickness.
Then on Wednesday, speaking of sickness, Wild Ambition. Our party's airship is ill, mostly because its power source has been stolen. And I am slightly sad because I have to now remake an encounter map because Matt noticed something with a natural 20 on Wednesday.
Wait, sorry, say again?
So
Matt's like,
I
I
have
did.
to I have to remake the encounter I was going to run because you noticed
Mhm.
something with a natural 20.
That's true. I got that nat 20.
You did. So we're going to be doing that. Then on Thursday, we're off Musing Games PF2 Season 6 of the Pathfinder Society, the new season, the year of Immortal Influence. We're playing through the newest scenarios as they come out. I think it's sold out already, but you can check Muse's website. And then on Friday, the Astral Calling, the show you're watching right now. And why are you watching the show? Well, personally, I think it's because of the wonderful cast that we have. Starting things off with someone who is absent tonight as they are returning home from travels. We have Luna, played by Rosalie normally. They'll be back with us next week. Then, with the people that we have here, someone who often finds themselves on the receiving end of my insanity, Matt, playing Darius.
I am here to try and provide a beacon of calm and wisdom in this maelstrom of wackiness that we call a party.
And Matt, for your spooky question of the season, tonight you have been put in charge of your own domain of dread, a domain of terror, where you must feed on the fear and terror and sadness of others. What does your domain look like? What do you do?
Clown.
Ah, I've dreamed of this. No,
I dreamed a dream of time gone by.
now here's the thing. I'm going to I'm going to explain the domain of dread with the actual thing that they do in Ravenloft, where while I'm the lord of this thing and I can run as I want, there's always a flaw that because domains of dread are actually torture chambers for their dark lords. I would get to create custom landscapes and dungeons. Like the very landscape of my domain would change constantly, but there would always be something that doesn't just quite work right. There would be a flaw, and it would drive me crazy. And I keep trying to, like, the reason it keeps changing is because every night I reconstruct the entire domain to be a new, like, torturous landscape to try and get it right, but it's never right, and I refuse to admit defeat. I could walk, I could leave, but I refuse, and thus I am being tortured along with all the people trapped in the domain with me.
Nice.
Your satisfaction is not in my nature.
Someone whose satisfaction is in the nature of, though, we have McKenna playing Evie.
Sure, I'll take it. Hi, everyone. My name is McKenna Ray Tynan, playing Experiment 3 version 13, our Plasmoid Artificer, also known as McKenna Ray Art on most of the platforms. And so what is my domain of dread?
Yes, what is your domain? What is McKenna? What is McKenna's Ravenloft?
I don't know anything about Ravenloft.
What is your, like, you've created a plane with the express purpose, I almost said porpoise, of torturing the people who reside on it. What do you make?
Porpoise.
Oh boy. Okay. Hmm.
Could be a porpoise.
Could
At
be a
the risk
porpoise.
of creating content for a very specific niche, I'm torturing rich people, and the torturers, they're just giving me all their money.
Yeah, well,
Um,
well.
Yeah,
I know
Yeah.
that's a
is a
niche.
certain
It's
audience.
not my niche, but I do want money.
That
So
is a good niche to fall into if you fall into a niche, though.
it can be a little dangerous, and I'm not doing content for that. But that's the question you asked, and that's the torture I'm torturing with.
Fair enough.
Money, please.
Someone who I think would do good things with copious amounts of money, Sarah playing Captain Cypress.
Thank you
Oh,
for
the cats you
saying
put in
so. Like, that's a big compliment, honestly. Hi, everybody. I am Sarah Rutan. Sorry, I'm gonna be punchy tonight. My apologies in advance. I am playing Cypress, the human bard, this Friday. You can find me on Cosmic Deity 746, where right now I'm playing through Dragon Age in anticipation of Veilguard, which I have already pre-ordered, so I've got it ready. Also, there's a cat that's on the kitchen counter that's not supposed to be on the kitchen counter, but I will
Isn't
deal
there
with
always?
Yeah.
Yes.
There always is. I would have to say, in terms of a realm, I have thought about this one. If I could have a circle, quote unquote, a circle of hell, I would be the torturer and punisher for anybody who has ever abused an animal.
To Valfreya.
Oh, there's two Winnipeggers that you would immediately be getting right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, so and I'm not talking like you scruff your cat because they are being a pill. I'm talking, you know what I'm talking about. That would be the eternal damnation of hell that they would be suffering, and in which I will have claws. That's
Chat. Speaking of Dragon
No one's
Age,
making that reaction at you, Sarah. It's directed specifically at Will.
why?
And his phrasing of what he calls the residents of Winnipeg.
As we learned,
Think about it.
as we learned from those job listings,
We're,
that's
we're
where that's where the freaks at.
they're freaks here. All minute. But if you are going to be picking up Veilguard, I'm going to plug something for a friend of mine. Their name is Jane Dash. They're another streamer that I chat with from time to time. But she has a code for EA now, so if you check out using her code Jane Dash JaneDash, you'll send a couple bucks her way. And yeah, she was the community manager for a company that I liked, like for a streaming company that I followed for a long time, and just a cool person in general. Speaking of cool people in general, someone who I think could take the world on in a fight, Maya, playing
The world better
Rash.
fight me. The world better fight me. Anyway, hi guys. Playing your resident goblin granny barbarian, Astral. My name is Maya. I don't know. What was the question?
If you
Oh, torture domain, right.
Mhm.
I feel like honestly the rich people thing, but like specifically like I want part of that money to go to me, but a lot of it, honestly, I would just like reroute specifically to like I would make the rich people directly pay the people that they have like dealt like basically damage pay, like dealt damage to in their life. Like that's what I would do if I were constructing my own personal hell for rich people. Alternatively, for because obviously you got to have something for the not rich people that are also bad and want to be and I want to torture. So like for them specifically, my hell would be my torture vibes would be just like cringe. Just like any sort of like cringe genre that you could have,
Oh, the
but
amount
like
that I would
tailored
appear there.
to them. Tailored to the person is what I
As
would
one
make. Their
of
own personal
Maya's-
hellhole of cringe.
Will, would you be there as like one
I'm
of the people being
sure I
punished,
would
or
be.
one of the people doing the punishing?
I'm
like,
sure I
as
would
an
be the
employee.
cringe. I'm sure that I would be someone's source of cringe.
this
One of those people, in fact, Chad, playing Venom.
Yeah,
What a segue.
Yeah.
taking things for that previous people said that as Matt said that like the domain of dread is also supposed to be torture there. I think I'm just being tortured by the cringe.
Every Friday, 7 p.m.
Beautiful.
And Chad, you've been tortured by this for like
The more-
almost a
the-
decade now.
The more weeb the cringe, the worse it is for me.
Ooh. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a subsection in my torture chamber for sure.
Weeb
For
cringe.
sure. Yeah.
Oh,
And also like another subsection is like in the style like a la Arrested Development, like that kind of cringe.
Oh, like the
Just
awkward.
fleet of
Just like
40-year-old women doing TikTok dances
Yes.
with too many.
Oh no,
filters
wait.
on.
That one Midwestern mother who does like the worst baking videos that are just like
yeah. Just like
No, I
cringe
love
in the
her.
way that is just like you viscerally feel like contact
Uncomfortable.
embarrassment.
Mhm.
on an unrelated note, I am for the first time excited to meet a working actor at a Comic-Con event, because the Winnipeg Comic-Con, I'm getting not only Ash's VA but also Venti's VA. So I'm just like,
fun.
as a Venti main, I'm
I
stupidly excited.
What are you
I
gonna
made a
have signed?
suggestion to Will regarding the Venti thing. I thought he should have created a fake, like, Mondstadt Vineyard label, put it on a bottle, have like an empty bottle, and get them to sign that. But
That would be good. I just
apparently it
didn't
was
have to.
too much work.
It was. But I had a multi-table special to
Commit to
run,
the-
Matthew.
Commit to the bit.
Uh,
What are you gonna have him sign?
I have some Venti merch that I'm probably going to get signed. And then I'm still debating for Ash's VA whether I get them to sign something Pokemon related, or Aya hides her feelings in Russian sometimes related. One of those two.
Speaking
Pokemon.
of,
Pokemon.
Not that weird other shit that you said.
It's a really
Honestly,
nice
that
romance.
sounds like a fun.
It's a
I've
really
heard
nice
good things
romance.
about it.
It's a very nice romance comedy about a young woman who hides her crush for a boy by speaking Russian. Except the boy understands Russian, but she hasn't realized that, and it's been so long that he can't tell her that he speaks Russian, or else it'll be awkward, and it creates that comedy. There are a few very anime-esque lines in that show.
speaking of my weed torture,
But
I don't trust it not to be weird fucking gooner shit. I just don't trust it.
I can't say it's not,
I'll
because
look
there are
aside.
moments, but yeah.
Yeah, fucking see. Oh, I heard it's so good.
But
When one of the characters literally just talks about manga plot lines for an entire section, like cringe
It's like
manga
the
plot
lead
line
section.
summaries,
I don't
it's
know. That's
great.
kind of funny.
I'll
count that
tell
as,
you. I'll
like-
tell you during the intro, Maya. But
Okay.
I'm Will, also known as Tabletop Roles on the internet. My domain of dread would be some sort of like domain that would be like a oh geez, what's the game? Like a werewolf situation, where like you're trying to form relationships with people, but you don't really know if they'll still be around the next night. And like it'll be torturous because like the people that I form relationships will eventually leave without a moment's notice. And like that would torture me, but it also like yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so that's my domain of dread. And now I'm going to roll the intro, and we're going to get into the game because I'm so excited for tonight, y'all. Last time on the Astral Calling, our party made it to Gilded Garden, and after meeting up with Aaronhart, witnessing the return of their astral heart to the universe, and then realizing that they were all looking for some people who may have been kidnapped by the forces of the Calistigian Order, or the forces of darkness if you want to be more simplistic with it, decided that it would be best to go and find the help of someone who can, and who better than to help than a god of hunting. After meeting up with an old friend, Veronique, and their draconic familiar, they made their way to a divine domain, the divine domain of the goddess of beast and bounty. And we pick up right there as our party has left their ship, and the goddess has immediately fired a warning shot at Evie.
I
And
need to clarify what I meant by warning shot.
Yeah.
Calder shoots as a warning, which is to say, it's probably not going to kill her, but it will probably hit her.
But it's
Oh
gonna.
boy.
Fair enough. We'll say that the shot does land into Evie, and will immediately, because of Calder's ability as a god, reduce them to 1 hit point.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
immediately going to tend to them. Goodness.
I got business with this one. Calder's gonna walk over to Evie, who for posterity's sake, I'm going to say is pinned by the shoulder to a tree,
Okay.
via the arrow, and just say, "Now, how did we get here in this situation? What did you do?" Evie, I think, just kind of makes like a sad noise of confusion. And Calder clarifies for the. Can you stop being chaotic in the background while I'm trying to straight? Thank you. For the class, Victorique, excuse me, I'm sorry. Would you mind telling everyone who my partner is?
Which one?
That's fair. Do you remember nice young lady by the name of Judith?
Oh, yes. Lovely. Lovely, but incredibly strong.
Incredibly strong. And I do not care for the fact that you went and undermined her, you fighting dirty, during her little tournament. You know what I'm talking about. And Evie just goes, understood. Great. Are we going to do that again? No. Fantastic. Glad we have an understanding. Take a walk off my arrow. I want that back. And Evie, with a very sad kind of suction of slime and liquid, walks off the arrow, and probably just goes straight to Darius.
Disgusting.
Yeah. I'm gonna give some heals, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just quickly see what the best heal I have at the moment is. So you look like you probably need it. So there's a whole bunch of stuff in here.
Not that I
Rash
don't
is
fully and completely believe that may or may not have been justified, although I'm not entirely sure, but then again, I know nothing anyway. But,
You know Judith, don't you?
I mean, I met her once or twice, but, like, we aren't friendly, per se.
Yeah, that's for the best. For me, at least.
That's
Alright, great.
21 HP back.
Thank you, Darius.
Let me
It's
know if you
Rash
need
is-
more.
Pleasure to meet you otherwise, I suppose.
Oh,
Rash,
silly me. Here I am shooting people and not even introducing myself. My name is Calder, god of beasts and bounty. Welcome to my
That
domain.
was
I
Captain Lamina. A pleasure.
I feel like there's a moment between Calder and Cypress of like,
what is happening here?
Rash is
Yeah.
very like torn because on the one hand, obviously she cares that Evie just got attacked, but on the other hand, her grandma side is just like, no, sometimes you just have to discipline the children.
With arrows.
Calder yanks the
She's
arrow
a
out of the tree,
barbarian, yes, with arrows.
kind of shakes it off. Calder is a barbarian with arrows. That's possibly the most succinct description of her I've ever heard.
So like honestly, yeah, like Rash has been there, so she kind of gets it.
Mm-hmm.
Darius is going to turn to Vim, and just kind of whisper, do you know her?
No, but didn't we fight a thing that looked like her?
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Darius,
thought
all gods know each other.
I guess I just assumed.
I don't know.
It's okay if you don't, Vim. It's okay to admit you don't.
You
I'm
know what they
saying that-
say about assuming.
The only other gods I've come into contact with are one that might hate that I exist,
Oh,
and
oh
one
shit!
that
You're Vim. oh, that other dream goddess is pissed about you.
Oh,
Yeah,
so you're not the
got that
only one,
vibe.
Vim?
No, we've had this. This
You
I've
are on their
talked about this
radar.
before.
That is good.
I've talked about
You're
this
getting
before. That
famous.
there's some other dream god that may hate me.
Oh, I assumed it was something unique. I'm sorry.
I
But if
should
Miss
warn you.
Calder, excuse me, Miss
You're
Calder,
saying something against what I've already told
if
you.
you have heard of our Vim here, that means he's making a name for himself, yes?
Only because she won't stop bitching about him.
I mean,
I'm
making waves.
yeah.
You're
Yeah,
disrupting.
just so
Green
you know,
waves?
there ain't no maybe about that. She hates your fucking guts,
Yeah,
kid.
I figured that one.
I think it is at this moment where Evie goes, I have a peace offering, maybe a favor, perhaps. I don't know where to categorize this. And she pulls the anti-Calder's bow out of her bag.
How does Calder react to seeing the bones of Aerolus made into a bow?
I think.
She knocks another arrow.
Yeah.
We didn't do that one.
Oh no.
How did you come into this? Come to
An
possess
anti-you.
this. A what?
Just,
A what?
just like. Look, I don't understand it either, but as far as these friends of mine have been saying, it was a quote unquote anti-you that was a product of the, what did you say their name was again? There's
Stygian order.
That's the right one. Yeah, Calstigian order. They made some
Different universe. Someone else killed her,
Yeah,
not us.
we had one that was like you and one that was like a few other ones coming after us here and there.
not fun.
There was the one with the cards.
Yeah.
There
Well,
was
so Will,
the
this is the
snake.
point where I need to ask you
Yep.
how aware Calder is of the Calistigian order.
So they're aware of the Calistigian order. They're not aware of the Harbingers. Harbingers.
Here we go.
They're not aware of the Harbingers. They are aware of the Calistigian order. They are aware of the fuckery that's going on. And they are aware of the powers being very similar to that they faced in Reskin's sort of crusade.
That's a name I haven't thought of in 65 million years or so.
Yeah.
All right. So you're saying there was an alternate version of me that you beat?
Was it the one that
Beat
was like
is
Calder that we actually
strong
murked?
word.
Because we murked one of them.
You've murked two of them.
We marked two of them.
You've murked Zolan and
that's
Calder.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so it was one like
Justiniania.
so it was like one
Maybe
like
Co.
you and one like a snake that we actually like took those ones out, not at the same time. The one with the cards, we haven't been able to get that one when they've come after us.
So what do you want me to do with this? We need you to destroy it, or else she comes back like a lich. I think that other universe version of you was a lich.
If I may, though, I'm not sure if this is an option. It's totally all right if it's not. But if you could somehow just purge her essence from it, I'm sure it's a very well-made bow, and I'm sure someone might be able to use it.
The instructions were very clear, Darius, that we are meant to, well, not us, the alternate version of the bow's previous owner, that being you. Evie bows.
I'm just
really awkwardly.
I'm
It needs to destroy it so that she doesn't come back. We can't destroy it. We thought about throwing it into the sun, but
which should have worked. But All I'm saying is that we have a rare opportunity here where we have an audience with a real divinity. So I thought we should perhaps check with them if this was an option. If it's not,
Well, Will, is it an option?
Vim, I don't think. I mean, there's divinities, and then there's divinities that have different sort of aspects of divinities.
I mean, I kind of get it,
You
but it
had
still,
audience with divinity with my god.
still
That's-
there
feels,
wasn't a lot of time there.
still feels
there's
like a
different kinds of
jab.
divinities,
And also, this is more connection to this particular divinity, I think.
That's fair, but the other felt like a jab.
I don't know what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you want to try and destroy it?
If necessary, we have to. But
No, I mean, I'm asking Vim. Do you want to try?
My problem
Yes,
isn't
Vim.
asking caller to this caller to destroy it. My problem is saying is just like acting like I wasn't here.
We all have our different capabilities. That's just what he's saying. And I look over at Darius and give him a wink.
Vim, are you saying that this bow is in fact perhaps a dream that you could dispel?
That's actually you're coming up with these weird
Darius,
things.
this is a really
Nobody's even saying
strange
anything like that.
deflection. It has nothing to do with their divinity. It has everything to do with them being this universe's version of that alternate person.
Well, no, I assume that divine entities just have a lot of power in general.
Well, yes, Vim is clearly very powerful,
Oh.
but this is not his domain.
Yes.
Is that confusing or
No.
okay?
That's why I hadn't asked Vim to help destroy it or purge it or what have you.
Yeah, well, no,
Right,
the
but
way you,
Vim can't because he's not.
I feel like there's something being lost in the sort of translation here.
Anyway, Miss
I
Calder,
apologize.
can you do something with this ball?
There.
Oh, I thought you said ball for a second. I was confused.
Ball.
Oh,
Are you making
Yeah.
fun of old lady?
I admit there was nothing humorous or a jabbed intended there. I feel like there's
It
something
really
being-
did come off like a
there's,
jab.
there's been a tone to everything you've said tonight, as Darius.
Darius
Darius
just
is
in a
only
sassy
Am I
mood.
just
now
in a mood
entering
today?
his
I don't know.
rebellious phase.
Every once in a while, Matt gets in a mood where he's like snippy, and it's so fun.
I see.
it entertains
You
me.
have not seen me snippy yet.
I have
Feisty
seen you
cat
snippy.
move.
You're approaching it swiftly.
No, you've seen passive aggressive. You have not seen snippy.
I would like it known.
And now
Snippy
we're
is
being
actually with me a
pedantic.
lot more quiet, except for very brief.
Sarah would like something known. What did you like?
Sorry,
known?
Sarah.
You ever seen the meme about the mom like arguing with one of her children and her son is ukulele from the SpongeBob theme song in the background?
Yes.
That's what Cypress is doing right now as this conversation, just with like
I think in that moment, Rash is listening to this strange music happening, watching all this happen, still waiting for Calder's answer, and also slightly you're getting a little bit of a dead eye stare in it.
Calder clocks that. And she says, all right, I am assuming I can destroy this as I am the alternate counterpart of this alternate version of myself. Was she hot at least, or just kind of?
Oh, absolutely.
You saw her?
I'm not
Yeah.
really in a position to judge.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
If
I
I
did-
was younger
Was there?
and
I-
she wasn't evil,
I mean, my
well,
assumption
naturally.
is,
Don't
I mean,
believe her about that.
I mean, looking at
that's
you,
true. I would probably do
not
an
much
evil
you can do
person.
to, like,
That's not the
oh,
part I was talking about.
Sorry, Sarah. What did you say?
I'm just saying, looking at you, my lady, there's not much you can do to uglify that.
You're a flatterer.
Aha, I know.
I like that about you. All right. I'm going to. I think a cremation might be in order for this. It's not every day you get handed the bones of your own child, forged into a weapon, and are asked to destroy them. So, yes, Pinkie Pie, that does count as a favor and not a peace offering. Thank you. And Evie just kind of gulps.
Pinkie Pie.
Calder is committed to never calling Evie by her name. One, because she thinks calling someone Experiment 3 version 13 is fucking stupid. It's too many names. It's too many names.
Pudding is good. I do pudding.
A pudding is not inappropriate. Let me
You
see.
should see when she's in her little Tupperware.
I can help with that.
They put you in a Tupperware pudding pop, and Evie just looks so small.
I'm so uncomfortable about the lid.
Only when she gets a little too hammered.
Put the Master
That I
Chief
can
in the soda.
respect. That I can respect. Will, as I no
McKenna.
longer really have access to Calder's character sheet,
Yes.
I could open it in D&D Beyond or Roll20. I would
Y-
assume it's
this-
not relevant.
This
anymore at
isn't this
point.
isn't a roll at this point. It is a does Calder destroy the bow?
Yeah, I think she puts together a very nice like funeral pyre. Has Victorique
I
light
have
the arrow.
I have like
and-
explosives if you want it to be a little flashy.
Ooh.
Sick as hell. I appreciate the effort. I was aiming for somber and
Oh right.
yeah, respectful, that sort of. Thank you, but I
Yeah.
appreciate.
I totally get that wheelhouse.
Rash is going to once again try to pray to her dead god for the fallen warrior that was this child because Rash assumes they did die in combat.
There's nothing.
Yeah. Just nothing. Again,
And
burying
like
deep-seated rage.
Rash, it's cold. It feels notably cold now.
Deadeye stare.
There's a chill that runs through you as you do so, and as the bow is lit aflame by Calder's hand, a spectral tiny dragon flies out and dissolves into essence.
I think Calder would immediately clock that Rash is praying to another god in her domain.
Well, trying, failing.
Exactly. And she, as everyone's eyes are sort of maybe on the fire, sidles up to Rash and in Goblish, which she speaks fluently. Fun fact about Calder that rarely came up in the last campaign.
Yeah.
And she just says, "Yeah, my sincerest condolences. We got the news about Magoobliet yesterday."
I appreciate that, my lady.
Nah, none of that. You're fine.
They're like a divine group chat?
We're just all standing around the fire.
You can't.
I'm just am fascinated by the very concept.
I would, if you're asking me like above table, Calder has probably like a cohort of Victoriques, who would have brought her news of this the second it happened.
Fun fact: the hunters or huntresses of bounty are actually a order of essentially not holy knights, but they are a order of incredibly skilled hunters that make use of a set of bows that can also, in a basically in a pinch, can be activated thanks to crafting of them and turned into glaives.
Interesting.
I
They
love
go
a
both
glaive.
ways.
Yes, which
Nice.
is why it's for Calder.
Nice.
I don't really know if Calder goes both ways,
No.
but I love a glaive.
There is also that group of huntresses is trained by a particularly intense deity of battle. But that's beside the point.
I think a glaive might be my favorite polearm weapon.
So now imagine a glaive that can turn into a bow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Calder sort of continues with Rash and just says, and the Horde, you have my condolences for them as well. One grandmother to another, I can't imagine.
I pray that you never do.
Let's do what's next for you?
Well, I suppose continue on with my group here. They are a family of sorts of mine now, regardless of blood. Do our best to continue the fight. And frankly, I'm really feeling a lot of pent up anger right now, and I could really use some head cracking.
I'd expect nothing less. Consider this a warning or a suggestion. I'm concerned about the whereabouts of the energy that made Magoobliet a god. That energy doesn't just go nowhere. It didn't die with him. Assuming this Calistigian order hasn't already consumed it in some way, there will be another war god at some point in the future.
Oh, a reckoning.
An opening.
Interesting. Much appreciated. I will keep my eyes and ears open.
Good. And Calder says nothing else as she watches the pyre burn.
Rash joins her in that silence. Because if she can't get an answer from her god, she will honor the dead and honor the warrior in the only other way she knows how.
It is interesting as the crackling of the fire, though it is far away, is heard clearly in each of your ears. And the number of creatures and people begin to sort of circle the pyre as well. Victorique, after a few moments, approaches Calder. And if you don't mind, we do have another purpose for coming here.
Speak on it.
Aaronhart steps forward. I need someone found. Someone I hold dear. And
So found but not haunted. I need to clarify that right quick.
yes, found but not hunted.
Thank
I will
you,
find
thank
I
you.
will if they need to be hunted, I will hunt them myself.
I think technically we'd be kind of hunting the people that took them. So
All right, well, you got anything of his, theirs, hers, whoever it is that you're shooting for?
They hand Calder the blade.
Not bad. This'll do. I assume it will do.
Oh yeah, it'll do. As Calder begins to sort of take hold of the blade and focus on it to find its owner, it's the effects of essentially a scrying spell, but with a little bit more range because of the divine abilities that this person has. Calder, you have the option if you would like to basically broadcast this to people.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, everyone will see visions of a asteroid sitting in darkness with mechanical and almost like very unnatural looking lights. Like they're very spiky, They're very like fluorescent. It's like UV lights, but they are like the most corporate UV lights that you can think of.
Mm.
And it goes into this asteroid. And inside of a room, currently fully chained, is the former prince of the Elven Empire, as well as a number of other people. It looks like a lot of elves were captured. And then there's also chained up in the corner a young tiefling woman who you would all recognize as Coralie. And beside Coralie, with a collar around her neck, glowing red and eyes that have been turned blood red, is someone that Calder recognizes too. As guarding these cells and guarding these people appears to be Judith.
Oh, fuck no. Fuck no. Calder kicks whatever is nearest to her that is not alive. It might be the fire, but she kicks it. She kicks it mostly barefoot.
Evie, make me an Arcana check.
Thank you for reminding me that I also have Evie's character sheet open.
Evie, in that vision, that collar you saw, it reminded you of something. You went and took a quick look at your notes about some of Dr. Toletio's inventions. And that collar appears to be a similar make and model to something that they were toying with about 5 experiments ago.
I think I know where they might be or who they might be with. That is one of Dr. Toletio's older experiments.
That fucking guy.
Yeah, that
Rash
fucking
spits
guy.
on the ground.
As you spit on the ground, Rash, when it hits the ground, it makes the sound of like spit hitting like a metal can, like the twing.
You have to amuse yourself in some ways as a god when you're alone.
That is, I think, endemic across Calder's entire domain. Anytime someone spits with like bias
Gusto.
and anger, it makes the pating, even if it hits nothing.
I love that.
I hope you don't
That's
mind me
genius,
adding that.
Will.
Yeah, I thought,
No, I love that.
thought you'd like that.
Well, shit. Looks like we're rallying the troops. All right, move out. Everyone is going. Everyone is fucking going. That's my fucking girlfriend of how many millions of years now? Got her chained up like a goddamn dog. That's insulting. Oh yeah,
Rash is
and
looking
your
and sees Coralie and is just like, she has the worst luck.
and your prince person. Yeah.
There is a little bit more to the vision.
Oh
Okay.
shit.
The final moments of this vision. You all see what appears to be Evie walking towards this brainwashed creature, this brainwashed person, and taking a pseudopod and just gently caressing her cheek.
Calder knocks an arrow at Evie again for the third time in like an hour.
No, that's her alternate version that sucks.
Clearly not her. Clearly not her.
That's her alternate version that sucks.
We are
and is
also
bad.
very disappointed in EVB.
She stole our ship's brain. That
Oh yeah.
was
Do
my
we
friend,
see any
and
sort
she
of
stole it.
motherboard in there in that prison?
Not in that room, but if EVB
Like,
is
I don't
there.
know.
Safe to assume.
If
Like,
you
We're
Need
gonna
evidence of
kill
that?
her.
A chained up motherboard.
Little manacles.
Mhm.
If you need evidence of that, you can go in the ship. You can see that there is a port for it that is missing.
Little soldered manacles. Sorry.
I mean, the plan's to kill her too.
Evie looks a little uncomfortable with that.
As a
I mean,
funny
my
note,
plan is.
so the scrying would only give you a general location, but seeing as how EVB is there, Calder is then able to concentrate and get an exact location as they have EV hunters marked, and EVB is EV from another universe. So that hunter's mark is attached to that EV
So
while
she
they're there.
counts.
Yeah,
Okay, so I have them both hunters marked.
yeah.
Sick. So
Both
I
for the
have
price of one. 2 for 1.
Finnegan Calder has
over.
your exact location. And now I have another important question for you, Will, which is does Calder have a way to mobilize herself and her cohort?
Oh yeah,
off of her
definitely.
domain?
Calder leaving her domain is a little bit difficult. Because they are a relatively young god. She is relatively young. She doesn't have the same staying power as like some of the older gods did just yet. So she's not able to like leave her domain in like the massive like glowing star form that Magubliet is. And if she does leave her domain for too long, her domain starts to become unstable. It's why Calder's basically been here for so long, because they've been trying to reach the point where this domain is stabilized on their own so they can go out and do things. They do have like a yearly meeting. Every now and then they'll get together with like a Zolam and Adenia and everyone, and they'll chat and get caught up and talk about things, but that meeting is still long away. And yeah. So Calder themselves cannot come, but they can mobilize the troops.
You're killing her, right? This one is fine. We can kill this one.
That's my plan.
That's his plan,
Sick.
yes.
We've
Fine,
already tried, I think, more than
fine.
once.
I'm not
At
happy
least
about
once.
it, but I recognize it is necessary.
Yes, it is necessary. Yeah. All right. Well, we will. Can you give us the coordinates? I can give you a map. Did nobody use maps anymore? Y'all got your freaking doodads with the buttons and the touch.
I use maps.
Is mostly
Thank
same
you.
thing anyway. As Rash doesn't understand exactly what coordinates are at all, she thinks it's the same thing. She definitely thinks it's the same thing.
As an additional effect for you all, Calder can give you one parting gift. All of your weapon attacks, and basically in Evie's case alchemy bombs, like all of your damaging effects have the slaying effect on them for EVB.
Play.
What does that mean?
It means that creature, if they are hit by it, will need to make a DC 17 con save or take an extra 6d10 damage.
Jesus, Calder. What have they been feeding you, babe? My girl.
God,
And for the fun
juice.
fact,
I
that's
Take
a
how much extra
didn't want to say
damage?
juice.
6d10.
60. Fuck.
And
What the fuck?
as a fun little thing for you all, that's one of the mid boons that Calder as a goddess can grant now.
I am.
Yeah.
All right then.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Sorry for hexing your girlfriend. I don't actually remember what spell I cast. Shut up. Go.
Also by
Excuse me.
technical stance, that effect would work on your Eevee as well if you attacked your Eevee. So just a heads up.
Okay.
Yeah.
No friendly
So-
fire.
I'm gonna guess,
No, not
bad-
once, everybody.
bad time to ask the god with the dragon about another dragon god I'm trying to figure things out with. I understand bad time, maybe later. Maybe later.
What fucking dragon? What?
There's So there's like a dragon god, but I've only been able to like connect with them through, and he pulls out the bow through the bow, because it's kind of alive in a way, kind of, because I could get into its dreams.
What do
Because
you mean your
dream
bow is
god.
alive?
You're
What
getting
is
into the
with y'all with
bow's
these living
dreams?
fucking weapons?
Yeah, like the bow was kind of alive and connected to some dragon god, and I just thought, hey, you like have things with dragons, maybe you would know something about this other dragon god. But I
Dragon
understand
God, you have a name, you have a description, you
I
have
don't
anything.
have a name, but it's like crystalline. It's very like a crystal.
Are they malevolent or?
No, they don't seem malevolent. They seem like weak right now or not fully awake. And
Ugh, these
Only-
kids
So you're
today
asking me
and their
about a
living weapons.
sleeping...
if you knew about them,
Oh, well, I'm assuming the answer is no.
No idea.
No.
okay, just thought it figured it'd be worth a shot, worth asking.
Listen, if you find out anything else about him, shoot. Until then, shoot.
Yeah, we're doing that. We're doing that.
Shoot. Shoot her! Shoot her!
Calder will maybe try to investigate that, but that's off screen now.
No.
We got some extra slaying
I
arrows.
also know that this is the first time Vim's fully talked about another dragon god that he's made contact with in front of everybody. He's only kind of implied something with the bow before.
You know what?
You've never said anything about a dragon god before. What a...
Lots of stuff's been happening. And I tried the last
In your
time.
room?
The
Where?
last time actually that was the one time I went into my room was to do that. Was to
Oh, is this the time where you were not in your little hammock in the kitchen?
yeah, and I tried it once more, but if I'm not something, what is it that I saw at that time? It wasn't the dragon god. I started seeing other stuff, and then we had to go on to do other stuff. So it's just been a real busy time.
Yeah.
Lots of like, I don't know, early god business and universe ending business all at the same time. Scheduling conflicts.
Vim, you need to share with the group more.
Agreed.
Well, that's why my bow changed, was because I made contact with the
Fresh
sleeping
gives you a
dragon
cookie.
god.
I just personally
Mandibles.
thought you were just leveling up, honestly.
So, as you are all making your way out towards that basically point.
Goblin Core salute to Calder on the way out.
Called
She
Cobbler.
does it back to you.
Toddler.
I mean, Calder's probably got some goblin worshippers.
Oh yeah.
Probably, yeah.
As
They'd be
as
fine.
y'all are leaving that night, you can all get a long rest. Vim, that evening, you see in front of you two doors. One appears to be a pristine workshop of some sorts. It looks to be like a metal, very finely crafted door. And then the other one is a rickety, shabby wooden door. Yeah, shabby.
Shabby?
Shabby.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, but shabin is like the past
No.
tense of
don't
shabby.
No.
Shabby's not. That's not.
No.
Yeah,
There's not.
You
There's
just
not a.
made that
You don't
up.
past tense an adjective.
yes.
No.
It's been shabined.
No, because it's a verb. That's not
Spell
a
it.
verb.
Shabbened. Shabined. The
No.
door was
Five
shabined
words.
after age.
No.
You don't shab
Weather.
No,
words.
that's
Weather.
not a real word.
And you know it. And you know it.
Incorrect.
The
Listen, if
closest
Shakespeare can
thing
do it, I can
is
too.
should be,
No,
No,
you're not
that-
Shakespeare.
Which
You
is
know,
My
you know
name is
what?
a
William.
legally
You know what?
operated drinking establishment.
I don't know.
Well-
Points for the boldness on that.
Thank
Will,
you,
you have
Captain.
You
time.
really committed to it, that's for sure. You really tried to. You really tried
know,
it.
Well, I went for it.
No, No points. No points.
Well,
You
I
tried
would
to
give you-
gaslight girl boss your way into it, but it did not work.
I would give you points if you were like, you know what? A syllable came out of my mouth and that wasn't the syllable I meant. That I would respect and give points for. Doubling down, that double down shit that you do, no. Anyway, Vim, before Vim is two doors. One is shabby.
Dilapidated.
Oh,
Dilapidated.
beautiful.
Weathered is also good, Matt.
Vim's not gonna be Vim's not gonna be spiteful in this, but he might be petty about it later, but he is not gonna be spiteful in this. He'll go through the good one.
We'll go through the good one. Darius, you
Yeah.
have fabulous dreams that night of a fully flushed out workshop where you have many attendants helping you forge things, and Nito is there, and the two of you join together in prayer at the end of the night.
Get your minds out of the gutter. In a forge would not be a good
In
play.
whatever
The
The
way.
danger is a part of the appeal.
Well, I guess the
Whatever
question
that means to you.
is because
What else are
technically
you
Vim is
forging,
the
am I
one.
right?
Technically, Vim is the one driving this dream.
I like to think that that Vim works on vibes in
Okay.
this way.
Fair enough.
It's a lot easier to work with vibes of like, because otherwise, I'm like, this is probably what he would like, and who knows what that would end up as.
Or, I don't know, you just give him a blank room, but it's just got like one
Bunch of
really
hammers.
complicated piece of IKEA furniture, and he goes, ooh, and just spends his entire dream time putting that together. Also, just for all you people in one corner of my screen giggling, you really think, like, do you guys honestly think Darius is the one who needs, like, danger to spice things up in the bedroom?
Yes.
He needs it.
Does he?
Whether or
Does
not
he
he
seek it
wants
out?
it.
No.
Does he
No.
seek it out?
he need
No.
it? Yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna say this about my own character. I think Darius is probably vanilla as hell.
Exactly. That's why he
Yeah.
needs the danger. That
doesn't
was
want it, he
precisely my
needs it.
point. Also, think about it, like the mood lighting from no lights but just a forge in the corner.
The
That's like the
glow of the
ultimate
forge.
candlelight.
It's
That's
like basically like
makes
having
me
a
sleep.
bearskin rug in the glow of
Yeah,
the
I
That's
was
forge.
a
gonna
bad
say,
thing to have in a
surrounded by
forge.
the
That will
fire.
catch fire.
Not if it's treated well.
Exactly.
Yeah, but still, why would you have it there
That
to
was a
begin?
pun.
You know what? This is
For the
Darius
moment.
coming out now. Darius is like, no, it has to be practical.
Dream logic. Dream logic.
Anyway,
You like that one, Maya?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad you did. We had an alchemist yesterday in the PF2 game drink a mutagen that turned them into a monster, and they drank the mutagen. They were quickened, so they drank the mutagen, strode to the boss, hit the boss, and then ran around the corner. So I said that they Jekylled and Hyde.
Nice.
okay, that's
Good.
actually pretty good.
Yeah, that
Good.
one was good. That's all that happens with that night. I just wanted to give Chad the option to give Darius nightmares. That was it.
Mean. If that's all that happens and we have time for a whole long rest,
Yes, you
can
do.
I check in with the shipbound NPCs? That being
Oh, yeah.
Millis, Baby Dragon, me,
Baby
and
Dragon
14.
Baby Dragon.
Does Baby Dragon
is-
have a name yet?
Baby Dragon is
He-
with Mother Myrtle.
That's right. We
Oh,
dropped
that's
him off.
right.
We
dropped him
I
off.
forgot that we
As
left him
is
with Mother-
14.
I know we did. We did drop 14 off. I'm so silly. Then I
It's
guess
just
I'm
Millis.
just checking in with Millis.
Who
What a champ.
make me an insight check, Evie.
Oh yeah, my
Your
plus
greatest
0 to
skill.
insight. This is gonna be great.
Fine.
That's a 9.
Even with a 9, you'll notice that whenever you are in a room, Millis will never have her back to you.
Oh.
I would like to point out that Cypress did a really good role to convince her not to be afraid of Evie again.
Yes.
I think you were
Aw.
speaking to EVB as Millis, unfortunately.
Probably.
Yes. But I did let that basically roll through to actual Millis when you found actual Millis. And this is the result of that good roll. It could have been a lot worse.
True.
I think Evie then will still just sort of say, sorry.
It's It's not your fault. I mean, technically, it's EVB's fault.
No, it
Evil
is.
B, Evil Evie,
EVB is fine.
Evoli. Hmm.
She would not be in this universe, point blank, period, if it were not for me. That's totally, completely, and utterly my doing. And then I didn't keep tabs on her because I didn't want to. And now we are here, and I am sad that you don't look at me the way that you used to. But that's also not your fault.
I'm sorry about that.
Well, as long as we're both sorry for things that were kind of out of our control, then I guess we're on the same playing field. But if there's anything I can do to help, wear a bell, maybe, or
You're fine.
okay.
Yes, you're fine.
All right. Good talk. Evie leaves.
Evie, as you're leaving, you see
Therapy.
Aaron
Everyone
Hart
needs therapy.
knocking on Cypress's door.
Aaron Hart knocking on Cypress's door.
Come and knock on my door.
Not the ship I would have expected.
On the ship.
I mean, we're on a ship.
Cypress like gets up and opens the door, and it was very obvious that Cypress was has a in the wherever Cypress has been holed up is like there's a bunch of maps on the table that were given for coordinates.
Hmm.
And she's plotting the coordinates. She goes, "Well, hello there. Can I help you?"
I was hoping to have a word with you if you have a moment.
Go ahead. Come on in. Shoot the shit.
Aaron Hart will glide into the room.
You look like you got a lot to say, but have no way of knowing how to say it.
I am in a strange crossroads right now. And you are the most neutral party I know on this ship.
All right.
So just tell me, and I beg of you, be honest with me. If anything I say sounds particularly bullshit-ish. I am happy that they're safe, but still very cross with them. Does that make sense? Is that a valid thing? Sorry, I shouldn't really be bothering you with this.
No.
Earnhardt starts to head out.
Wait. Understandable. A little bit more context. My assumption is a particular individual that you may or may not hold dearly.
Yes, they are someone he is someone who's very important to me.
Well,
We
go on.
we were very close. And to honestly come out right out with it, we were much more than the friends that we appeared to be outwardly facing.
We call that bosom buddies on my ship.
We were bosom buddies.
Hmm.
Not on your ship, though, in the dorms. We were roommates.
I've heard that.
Will say.
I've heard that one too.
Mm-hmm.
So, being a neutral party that I am, I can tell you, you are 100% valid in feeling what you're feeling right now. You see, when your heart belongs to somebody in such a way that you feel so many emotions at one point that you just can't pinpoint, then that's when you know it's a real thing. So you being relieved, but also goddamn frustrated that they've done that in the first place.
Angry.
So mad.
So fucking pissed off. Like, you.
It's a direct function of your love and concern for them. I mean, hell, you know? When you feel so much for somebody, you just can't, like, pinpoint it. And you know that at a certain point in time, the truest emotion's gonna sit through, which is obviously going to be the fact that you're gonna do whatever you want for them. Hell, half of the universe is falling to pieces because of somebody who had loved somebody so much they got so many emotions they can't pick any of them. And that's the strangest thing of all about this whole mess,
Hmm.
is that I can't really blame her.
Fair.
And yet, I know for a fact that if I was in her position, the person who cared enough for me, well, she'd want to kick my ass 10 days towards Sunday.
Hmm.
So, I mean, you're valid. Does it mean you're not going to still try to find them? Absolutely, it doesn't mean that. But does it mean you're going to give them a right talking to before you kiss them square on the mouth because they're stupid? Yeah, absolutely it does.
Earnhardt smiles at that. They will remember this.
Well, I mean, I hope that helps. I mean, being a neutral party, you know.
I appreciate it.
Look, a lot of stories about things that I did as captain of that ship, being a pirate and all.
The Philomena.
Correct. There's not a lot of good. Mostly bad. But at the end of the day, I try to do what's right. I mean, I don't want to hurt people. But I also know that life's got to live. That doesn't make sense. I'm sorry.
That makes a lot of sense. You know, you're nothing like the stories say.
Ah, shit. A lot of that is just me conflagrating it mostly. I mean,
And-
I did actually kill that one thing, the giant space worm.
Mm.
I actually did do that. That was fun. I got swallowed by it, and then I literally ripped out of it with like a lightning bolts,
Mhm.
well placed. Oh, the songs and the tales. Had worm guts in my hair for months afterwards, but like that's nothing, you know that.
It is. I would love to hear more about your crew, to be honest with you, and your ship. For us, the Philomena, it wasn't essentially an old wives' tale our parents would tell us. Like, if you're naughty, the Philomena is going to come and capture you as part of the crew. But I don't think that's really the case now, is it?
Let you in on a little bit of secret. The people we did take, their lives were not as good as they should have been.
That's
And in
comforting.
the end, nobody has to stay.
Earnhardt produces from their bag a crystalline and opalescent bottle. Cyprus, you immediately recognize this as what is essentially the purest elven vodka. Like, this is a bottle that would go for hundreds of thousands of gold. And as the night goes into it, Ehrenhart cracks it open with you. The two of you share some tales. The next day is quite the sight to behold, as the fleet, the Huntress fleet, is now in tow with your ship.
Oh my.
Hundreds of warships, each one outfitted with what look to be crossbows, like just ballistas, regular crossbows, ballistas. What's the crossbow? Big crossbow.
No, ballista.
Ballista is the big crossbow. I'm gaslighting myself.
Ballistai?
Yeah, for some reason my brain swapped
ballistas.
ballistas and trebuchets for a second.
Trebuchet.
Yeah, trebuchets are
Yeah.
cool.
They are
Yeah.
not similar.
But yes, I know that's why I was gaslighting myself. But yes, like several large ballistas on each of the shift, each one manned by several huntresses, and
Hot.
Ballistas, yeah, you were right.
there are hundreds of ships with you as you begin to approach that curtain of darkness. And as your ship does, and as it goes to pass through, it boom, and the darkness undulates. It's like it
Forgiving
pushes
place?
into Jello and then it flings it back out a little bit. And the same thing happens for all those other ships.
So no way to. I was about to say something that I was about to also then say that's what she said, but that didn't. No way to punch the jello is what I'm saying here.
Looks at Evie.
Thank you.
Let's not punch our jello.
You're more. You're slime, not jello.
Let me
There's-
see what can be done about this. Gonna roll a little Arcana check.
19?
It's a 19.
That appears to be some sort of like energy field. It looks as though like the viscosity of the astral sea changes at this point, and it becomes like almost a different sort of denseness.
Sure.
If you wanted
Okay.
to get through it, you would need to find a way to basically neutralize that denseness and return it to a state that your ship would be able to move through.
Okay, so neutralize the density.
Isn't that somewhat of a science sort of thing, where you break down a certain element where it kind of.
Well, yes, but on this
Velocity?
scale, a scale large enough for a fleet of ships, we'd need a lot of chemicals and a lot of the right chemicals, and I don't know off the top of my head what the right chemicals would be, so I guess I will start experimenting.
I mean, does it need to be enough for a fleet? Ehrenhart will say.
I mean, a fleet behind our back would be nice.
But is it necessary?
Yes, I worry that we might
Yes.
have a repeat of the goblins.
Oh. Well. I don't know.
Rash's face falls again.
It had to be said, I think.
Just, I mean, I don't know if it would be that way because it's just this asteroid, but also it being just this asteroid might mean that we could just take one ship.
So I'm so sorry. I don't know if y'all can hear. I don't know who is setting off fireworks on a Friday in October.
Is
You
that what
know,
that is?
Like
That's
old-
I
me.
hear that too.
those good old
Well, I mean, obviously
October,
you're 5 minutes away from me, so obviously I'm here.
Yeah.
those good old October 18th fireworks. You know, good old
Yeah.
traditional October 18th fireworks.
Happy October 18th.
It's making the dog.
Maya, do the thing.
It's.
know
I
what?
think it's closer to me, Sarah. It's loud. It sounds like it's.
No,
like,
wrong
No,
one.
wrong
Hang
one.
on.
There
we
you go.
No, but I am here. That is loud. We
I-
can't hear from your end, McKenna. So don't
I
worry.
have a thought here. Will,
Yes, Matt.
I would like to use a cleric ability that I just acquired because we are level 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I would like to use a cleric ability that if I doesn't work, well, even if I use it, I can't use it again for another 7 days, so we'll actually have to track ability or days passing.
Okay, you will have
Um,
to track that.
Okay, I would like to use divine intervention.
Roll
And
it.
I would like to, because I maintain to my belief that the spark of creation is more of a metaphysical kind of concept than an actual entity, so it can't really like speak or take actions or something, but I would like to sort of invoke its inspiration to give me a clear path forward for us here that avoids possibly putting these wonderful people who have come to help us in undue danger by our ignorance. Like, I don't want us to put the people who've come with us to help us in danger just because we don't know a thing. So I would like to invoke the spark to give me an inspiration on what path we should take here. And it does have to be requires me to use an action. So I would like to roll some sort of check to have knowledge of what we should do here.
Well, I mean, divine intervention is.
I do have to roll for divine intervention.
Yeah, you just have to roll a percentile. So.
Yeah, well, it's number equal or lower than my cleric level.
Yep.
So I only have
Yeah.
a 50-50 chance of succeeding on this.
No, you don't. You have a. It's on a 100, a D100.
It's a D100,
So
Matthew.
you have about a 10% chance of this working.
Hold on a second.
The odds are 10%. Never
Okay,
tell
yeah,
me.
Never
percentile
tell me
then.
the odds.
So I'm gonna try
Yeah,
Okay.
it can always happen.
100.
Do you
right?
want me, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
Click on the roll to GM.
Hold on. Oh,
And don't look at the stream for a bit.
how do I do?
Here, I'll turn it
that?
on to your sheet.
Yeah, mine
Oh,
has
hold
it
on. I
set
see
where
roll
can
to GM.
toggle.
Sorry, I was
Yeah.
looking at roll
I'm like,
20. thing, not the
everybody don't
character
look
sheet.
at the stream.
Yeah,
Now,
no,
hold on,
everyone
no,
don't
I-
look at the stream for a second.
I'm not sure I can. Does that affect my normal just roll 20 things, or because I don't have a percentile on?
You should just be able to say, do a test roll. Cleanse the dice. Roll a d4.
Don't look at the stream. Look
Yeah,
at
just for a second.
April.
Well, you all, everyone who's watching, look at the stream. Watch the stream.
Can you see that? everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. I'm just gonna quickly make a little thing in my character sheet.
Yeah, make
That
an
should-
attack roll. It's a d100.
I also think you can do it from the dice menu on Roll20. If you go
Mhm.
to, yeah, you can just toggle on GM.
Oh yeah,
roll.
you can.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When you
All
go to
right,
the dice.
so just D100, I guess.
Yep.
All right, here goes. 1, 2, 3.
So, Darius, as you sit there contemplating the spark, figuring out what it could possibly do it to reach that goal, you begin to think. You think about the fact that the energy of the universe has been changed by this darkness. You think about energy, you think about a forge, you think about forging metal, you think about taking a piece of ore and turning it into metal, into alloy. You think about changing that state. You think about heating it so that it turns from its solid form into more liquid, more malleable form. You think about energy and how that's just energy acting. And after a few minutes, Darius, you think you come up with a way to basically, with proper crafting, you could outfit your ship with a device that would essentially allow it to concentrate energy from the universe to create a habitable bubble, a almost like pinprick to be able to poke through this veil and to begin traveling through the darkness.
I turn to Evie. I require your aid. I have been gifted inspiration from the spark, and I can see a path forward, but I require your technical expertise.
All right. Are we thinking just for us, or are we going to be able to get any of the other ships through as well?
It depends on how successful we are.
Understood.
If we can sort of light the way in a manner of speaking, they may be able to follow.
Okay.
Can I mention what the actual role was, Will?
No. Oh, I thought
No.
you weren't going to see that.
Oh,
No, you still see your own rolls.
Oh, I was hoping Matt wouldn't see it either.
No,
That's
you
a
still
shame.
see your own rolls.
Because I was going to... The veil of geometry is going to come off here for a second.
Well, no, Will, I would know if it succeeds or not.
Would you?
Yes.
You're-
Otherwise, like,
Yeah.
this is... Yeah. Like, that's
That's
how
kind
it
of
works.
That's part of the point of the
Yeah.
feature.
No, but now imagine the mystery of Matt not knowing if it succeeded and Darius having
No,
this
but-
vision of thought, not knowing if it's their own thought or the thought granted to them by the spark.
Well, you could
I
have
see the
flavored it that
vision.
way.
Yeah.
But
That was what I was going for. But
Also, you could have just been super vague about it if you really wanted to do
Oh,
it.
no.
But, just because this is just funny to me, it rolled my favorite number, 8.
Aw.
So,
Aw.
Matt got it. That's what I was like,
Dang. Is that the first successful channel divinity on this channel?
yes.
I don't think has anyone tried rolling
Channel
Yeah.
divinity.
I don't remember.
I don't
I don't
know.
remember if paladins get channel divinity.
No.
They
Well,
don't.
no. That's
now-
divine intervention, not channel divinity.
Yeah.
Paladins don't get divine intervention.
Interesting.
This was the first. This was the first divine intervention, and it was successful.
I'm also asking for
What are the chances?
About
I'm also
10%.
asking for Evie's assistance because as Darius gets to his feet, he seems wobbly like a cat on catnip because this
Aw.
takes a lot out of him. He now can't do this for 7 days.
Yeah.
There's
wobbly
now
little
a ring on Darius's finger that just says 7 days on it.
Oh
That's
no.
ominous.
Okay, so we only have a
okay.
week to do this.
Oh no,
before
the
we use
cursed
Darius.
USB drive.
All right, tell me what to do and I'll do it. And I will send instructions to the other ships and see if they can get it done on their ships as well.
So we are going to essentially be, in a very specific way, creating a emitter on the ship that's going to gather ambient energies from the universe and use it as sort of a lantern to dispel the darkness in front of us. Hopefully clearing a path for people behind us, but they will have to gauge how safe that is on their own. We're possibly going to be heading in by ourselves for a little bit at least.
All right, let's get it done.
All right.
Because it was a divine intervention role, the instructions are clear enough that Evie, you are able to take care of it, and all the components that you need are on the ship.
Sick.
At various points in kind of Darius instructing you on how he needs help and everything, you notice his eyes are like blank and kind of glowing a little bit.
Darius, are you okay? You're
I feel kind of
glowing.
dehydrated, but I feel very inspired. I think this is what.
Rash, water,
Oh.
please.
Rash
Only
was in the
decaf.
kitchen and kind of hears her name called through the pipes. She's like, "Coming. Who needs water?
Darius.
Copy that." Rash is going to bring water, but she's also going to bring like jug of cream and then also some like
Oh, I'm
cat
trying to concentrate.
ibuprofen. Some cat ibuprofen.
Is it just like little cat shaped like children's, vitamins?
Yeah,
Oh, what
it's like
is cat
chewables.
ibuprofen?
Yeah.
Some chewables.
What is the thing that you give cats on long flights?
Sarah?
Gabapentin?
Think so?
Amoxin.
Amoxin. There you go. Rash crushes up a little thing of amoxin and puts it in the milk.
Mm-hmm.
I'd object to this kind of treatment, but you are the grandma of the ship, so it is your right.
It's your sleepy time sticker,
It's good.
Darius.
No,
It's
I
good
need to
for you.
work.
It's good for you. Push his bottle.
And yeah, you are able to get that device created for the ship. Darius, you get to name this. You're the first person to make it. What's it called?
Darius has created something completely original and new. It cries a little bit. Oh God. He will call it. I'm not gonna call it the Nito. That would be absurd. I thought about it for a second though. This will be just the guiding light.
The guiding light. As the guiding light is installed on your ship, and I have added it to your ship stat sheet, you are able to pierce the darkness and begin to move deeper in. This form of the guiding light not strong enough to allow other ships to pass just yet, but perhaps in the future it can.
I have sent the blueprints for this to every other ship in the fleet.
Yes.
I don't know if any of them have the ability to make such a thing.
Not many of them have an EV on their ship, I'm afraid.
No.
I never actually
But they may
thought
be
about doing that.
crafters.
Good job, Evie.
They may be crafters in their own right, though.
I do actually like this very much, though. This is a perfect demonstration of two types of creative thought. One is like, yes, I have this amazing idea, and the other person like, yes, I know how to make it practical, though.
Yeah.
As the darkness begins to push away from the ship and you make your way now into the universe that has been consumed by dark, it is colder here, just naturally. And it takes you a little bit of time. It takes you about a day of travel through the darkness, through nothing. Like, there is no life. In the astral sea, the things were moving. There, you would see things, but there is nothing here. It is empty and void. And then that asteroid starts to come into view. However, as it does come into view, your ship's sensors begin to beep. There's another ship in the radius of your sensors. If you'd like, you can make an Arcana check to do a scan.
I
would like.
I feel like I've maybe asked this at some point in the distant past. Does our ship have weapons?
Yes, it does.
Yes. 23.
Are those weapons operable when
yes.
we don't have a ship brain?
They are,
Yeah,
but
the
you
guns.
will have to operate them as players. It's funny you should say that. The signature of the ship scans, and it's basically like electronic signature comes back to you as the Philomena.
Ugh.
And
Cypress, what are the chances that it's your Philomena and not like some awful evil used version of the Philomena?
oh, I mean, it's
Cypress-
coming into view. Cypress, you can see it.
Cypress looks at you, looks outside, then pulls out a coin that's got a skull and then a regular like mermaid lady on it. She flips it. Not great.
I want to do this image. Cypress, as you flip it, you go to catch the coin, but it misses and it lands in the ship's tile. It's right in the middle. It's like stuck up on the edge. And as the Philomena comes into view, Cypress, that is your Philomena. And its weapons are pointing at the ship. And as we get ready to roll for some ship combat,
Ship combat!
Ship on ship
Shombat!
violence.
that is where we are going to call it tonight.
Oh shit, hang on.
Sorry.
We are ending a little bit early because y'all pushed to this point a little bit faster than I thought you would. But
Divine inspiration.
Divine Inspiration did it.
Yeah, I definitely thought that we were gonna go longer. Otherwise,
Oh.
I would have just held it.
No, you're good. But thank you all so much for coming to tonight's episode of the Astral Calling. Check out our many other shows here on the channel. Tomorrow night we have Chad's Chad Talk about Metaphor Refantagio.
Chad talk.
Chad Talk.
Talk.
Sunday, Cozy Co-op. Monday, Strike the Thousands AP. Wednesday, Wild Ambition. Tuesday, Sprout Stream. And we'll see you all on the next episode of the Astral Calling. Have a good night, friends.
Goodbye.
Good night, everybody.
Goodbye now. Goodbye.
Praise to the spark.